Hello everybody, welcome back. Let's get stuck in then, shall we? Thursday, we'll see what happens then, shall we? Because at the moment, if you're looking at the futures pre-market on S&P, it's absolutely tearing up. Up 0.75% at the moment, or almost, or it was a moment ago. So it's starting the day with a massive pump on this. I couldn't even tell you as to why that's the case, other than the technical breakout of this. Well, I suppose it's a rising wedge. It's a ascending triangle. It's basically broken out, and it's continuing really now. Looking at the 4-hourly, moving averages have broken out from it, adding more weight to that support. And again, so has the daily. When you're talking about the 10 exponential, we've got the 21 and the 20 still below it, but it's looking really powerful at the moment, I have to say. One thing to note, though, is that the money flow index has reached 100. I don't know if that's a glitch, but that's extremely high now. That is like ridiculously high. In fact, going back just on this chart, just on this one particular chart, it is the highest it's ever been. So there's an enormous amount of money which is just poured into the S&P. And normally, when we get an overheated read on any time frame, it does require a pullback. That's normally the case. The reason being, liquidity is at its highest. Let's just say you were a multi-billionaire and you've got like enormous amounts of profit, unrealized profit. You want to take that profit, you need to dump it somewhere. It's going to be dumped when the volume is at its highest, really. Just looking back, you saw that over here, pull back into the 10 into the Bollinger Band Center, bang, all the way up. When's the other overheated reads? Where did we get those? Well, we did get one around here, which didn't navigate the exact top, but it got a pullback and then went up higher, and then obviously with the bearish divergence, so it obviously came down into a bear market. These are just anecdotal. They're not perfect. It's just a rough guide. So we were on our way up here, got the bearish divergence. Usually a single drive on the money flow index is enough to cause the pullback. Obviously this one over here didn't mark the top. We went on a little high, got the bearish divergence and plummeted. Anyway, the list goes on. It's just something worth noting that if we are going to keep pushing up like this, the next, I suppose, high, the next sort of local high on this one, or all-time high on this one, might give us a bit of a larger pullback on this one. And I don't know how deep and how fast it will go, if it would happen at all, but that is just, that's unusual. Let's just put it like that. It's unusual. So not to scare you out of any positions, because things are looking good across the board over here. This is Bitcoin with your another attempt to break that 200 simple moving average on the daily. Now, a couple of days ago, it was yesterday actually, confirmed the pump signal, which we were talking about. So the pump signal kicked in yesterday. We're ready to pump on this one as far as the Ichimoku cloud is concerned. We pulled back yesterday to a 50 exponential moving average, which is actually part of a golden cross. That's the upper portion of a golden cross. So we actually tested it, and now we're bouncing from that. So that's been, I suppose, a very bullish scenario. If you were super conservative, wanting to get the better entry, you'd wait for these areas to get retested, which is 60,600 at the moment, or maybe even this one, 59,785. And it hasn't done that. Not yet. It might do that. It might not do it today. It might not do it tomorrow. It might do it next week. It might do it a lot longer down the line, where these moving averages are basically even higher than the price action is right now. So you just got to recognize that for what it is. This is continuation with a daily pump signal, golden cross on the 4-hourly, retested the 50, and now it looks like it wants to go up. So the main sort of problem is going to exist around this bad boy here, the last moving average on the daily, the last major area of resistance before a bigger breakout that could even take you up to 68,000, where I would definitely be cautious. The pump signal that we have on this daily can only really take you to the next major area of resistance. So this is one, it's very close. So I would be surprised if that's where we're rejected from. This is 2, 65,300. And then this will be 3. This is descending trend line of resistance, which is roughly around the $68,000 zone. If you break that, then you've got these horizontal 70,000, then you've got 72 almost, then you've got the previous high, which is just less than 74. So just, like I say, I'm not calling for anything. I'm just monitoring the situation. Momentum seems okay. Pump signals in play. Resistances are above us, and we should always expect a resistance to reject us. Ethereum. Let's have a look at Ethereum. So the 12-hourly I'm on right now, which does have a pump signal. A pump signal on the 12-hourly, you would say, all right, where's it going to go to? The next major area of significance. Death cross retest up here at 2,779. And another death cross retest up here, which is just short of 11%, 2,900. So we've got the pump signal on this one. on a 12 hourly. So you look for the 12 hourly resistances which exist here and here. I'd be surprised to see it go any further than that based on this one setup and this one signal. 4 hourly doing exactly the same as Bitcoin did, retested the upper portion of a golden cross, the 50 exponential, where we're getting a move up now, and so far rejection on the Bollinger Band Center. So like Bitcoin, we're pushing a resistance at the moment. For Ethereum, the resistance is 2,631. Break that, you should start to make your way back up based on what we saw for those resistances on the 12 hourly. So, the problem being at this point now is that we do have mixed signals across different time frames. So you've got a nice, relatively bullish 4 hourly that once it reclaims this this 20 moving average should take you up close, if not to, those areas specified on Ethereum. And we've got this, which is where we are right now on the daily for Bitcoin, which obviously is a resistance. Once that's broken, then you got these upper areas as well. So pushing resistance with bullish signals. So this is, I suppose, I wouldn't call it a nightmare, but it's frustrating because you want to go bullish on this one, especially when you see altcoins popping across the board. I don't know if you've looked at the vast majority of altcoins today, but most of them are up. Some of them are up significantly, including some of the meme coins like SHIB's up quite a lot actually. It's like 10% just today. So it gives the impression of general bullish vibes and continuation across the board, which is also our expectation when you're looking at the total 2 and the fractal that we've got on the total 2. You know, we always have to revisit this to reassess our overall expectation of the market, which is one of a bull market and creeping out and breaking out of this general consolidation, which would end at 975 billion. Once that's broken, we should start to see ourselves move up into what appears to be a bit more of a healthy bull market. I mean, even the total 2 is up close to 2%. Let's just take us off log scale, and have a closer look. Still full of cold at the moment, by the way, so if I'm sounding a little bit raspy, that's the reason. We have the pump signal again on the total 2, so you'd expect this to move up to the next major area of resistance. Considering the 200 exponential, which is the death cross, is where we're sort of dancing around right now, I'd be looking to the top of this triangle, if not the 200 simple moving average, which is also a nice round number of a $1 trillion market cap as well. So a little higher is most likely. Same with the S&P, same with Bitcoin, same with Ethereum. But when we approach these major resistances, don't be at all surprised to see a resistance reject you. All right, so that's all I'm saying. So don't get too complacent. If you're looking for brand new entries, now might not be the time. You might want to wait and see how we respond to these major resistances, which is 1 on the total 2, and obviously the S&P we've already stated is breaking up to new all-time highs, but with a money flow index of 100, which, like I say, I mean, historically that's never been seen. And then Bitcoin and Ethereum also, you know, proving to show their resistances, which is above the one that we're pushing and looking to break right now. So, false sense of security in many ways. If I had to call it, I'd be focused on, you know, continuation and move up to the top areas of resistance. But that doesn't mean you should buy into a resistance already, because, you know, we've got resistances on total 2, resistances on Ethereum, and on Bitcoin at this very moment in time, despite having, you know, no real slowing of momentum and pump signals on a variety of time frames. So this is always going to be the dilemma any trader has. You've got bullish setups and signals, and you've also got areas of resistance where you should limit positions or at least take preventative action of going too hard and getting rejected from your exact entry point. So yeah, this is why I suppose, you know, you've got to buy the blood and you've got to buy the resistance. You've got to buy the supports opposed to the resistances. You know, a lot of the time it's scary, and you know, the only thing I bought when we came down recently, like over a week ago, before the FOMC meeting, was Ethereum. I saw the total 2 looking good. I saw the Bitcoin dominance potentially get rejected from this area, and I thought, well, there is a good chance that we're going to get rejected on the dominance chart, and then pump for altcoins, and we are seeing that now. We're seeing it. However, you know, just like anything, you know, the pumps don't go on forever, nor do dumps. And if there is an area on the dominance chart that we can assume a bounce from, it would be here, the first area of a bounce. Now, you know, I've talked about this many times. When the beginning of the major alt season, 2020 into 2021, you know, we more or less got the top on this one because there was a double top. Bitcoin had also hit a major resistance, and we were looking for an alt season. We got one, but even there, where the peak was, I was saying, and I was reacting accordingly. I was like, right, there's your resistance, here's your support. So we had this first portion of the alt season. I was like, right, let's just be careful, move back into Bitcoin, a cautionary procedure. Okay, it's cool. We've got a death cross now. We move up into it, reject from it, alt season, continuation, alt season part 2. Okay, we're moving into another resistance. Move back into Bitcoin. Caution. Okay, that's fine. It's broken down at this stage now. We're more or less plain sailing, and we were. And that's how I played it. I didn't go all in altcoins and stayed all in altcoins. I didn't call for this to take you down to here. I called for a resistance, and then you monitor it on the way down, which is basically what we're seeing at the moment. We've hit the resistance. We have had a nice reaction from it so far. That's been a 2% move, and you've seen altcoins rally 5, 10, 20, and in some of these really small cap coins, you know, hundreds of percent from just that simple resistance. Now we're at support. So I just want to put it to you that I am bullish on the market over the next 12 months. But if you really are looking to make or trade, you know, day to day or week to week, you have to recognize what it is that we look at here, and this is resistance, and this is support. So if you're going to have another bounce and maybe even a bounce back up and a breakout, and alt season gets cancelled out, it could happen from here. And that doesn't mean that Bitcoin's going to pump and outperform everybody else. That could mean that Bitcoin gets rejected and sats get drained. So whatever your strategy, whether it's long term or short term, it doesn't. Yeah, you've got to make your own decision and your own plans. For me personally, I am looking for a little bit further up for Bitcoin, Ethereum, and even the S&P. But I wouldn't at all be surprised to see a larger rejection take place. Well, any minute now, to be honest with you, but from these areas. If Bitcoin moved up to here, it's still a lower high, which could form a lower low, which would be another 24, 25, 26% pullback down into the 50s, maybe even into the 40s. That's possible. It's realistic. It doesn't have to happen, but if it did happen, it would be pretty much, you know, a perfect consolidation trend line, which continues to consolidate. If we break out from here, retest it, then bang, 70, 80, 90, wherever. At the moment, we've not done that. We're still in a consolidation scenario here, and with that, we should probably be prepared to see it continue to consolidate because it hasn't broken out yet. And again, you know, I'm not calling for that. I'm just putting it to you that it's a possibility and one that shouldn't be ignored. We all get bullish when we see plenty of green. Some people get too bullish, and this is the nature of the market. Some people didn't buy the lows, and so they buy the highs, you know, because they feel comfortable buying green. But really, it's not normally the way to go about doing it. You have to be in an extremely healthy market to buy green. You have to buy red. You have to buy supports, basically, not resistances. That's what I'm saying. We're at resistance now. You wouldn't want to buy that. What you do is you buy the supports and sell the resistances. We're at resistance 1 now. There are several above us, but we are at 1 now. So let's just calm down. I'm not saying it can't pump. It certainly can. We've got the pump signals, let's not forget, but also at resistance. It's not a perfect entry point. Yeah, it's not a perfect entry point. Yesterday offered us an entry point. It wasn't deep enough for me to think, yeah, we'll go in on this one. Yeah, I'd rather go for deeper, which is why I'm happy to wait. And if I wait and it doesn't go deeper and it breaks out and continues from a higher level, that's still a better scenario than buying a resistance. Right, I'll leave it with you there. There's nothing much more to say. If you want to join the Patreon, there's links in the description below. We're doing a live stream tomorrow night. Other than that, I hope you have a nice day and take it easy.